So today I'm going to explain a little bit of ways that people get in their heads about worship. So maybe you're a new believer or an old believer and you have been going to different churches with different denominations. And maybe in one church it's more, reverenced music, and the other church is a little bit of a rock band. And maybe you see people dancing in one church and you see in another church that they're just pretty much just sitting there nodding their heads. So I've run into people that have been confused by that, and I'm going to explain to you where I can help you with this. So theologically, I could give you a bunch of different answers, but that's not really what I'm focused on today. See, what happens is if we focus on what, Jimmy is doing next to me, Jimmy's raising his hands, Jimmy's super duper excited about God. But what we don't know is what's happening in Jimmy's heart. We don't know if that's what's happening in his heart. We could have, Bob sitting next to him just simply going like this. But, Bob is not, woo, Jesus, but Bob is having a moment in his heart with God. And that is what God looks at, is the heart of the person. Are you focused? Are you in tuned with the heart of worship? So maybe that'll help some people who are like, well, this guy's dancing in the church, or, that guy's doing nothing. What's going on inside of your heart? That is the real question here. What are you focusing on? And as we really know the true meaning of worship, it's actually obedience. Worship is a life of laying down your life for God. That is the true meaning of worship. It's not so much that we praise God, he's lifted up on the praises of his people, but the true worship is your obedience to Christ. And that is where we want to check our hearts every day. It's like, are we just praising him with our lips? Is it just lip service, or is it a service of life to God? Because God has said in the Old Testament that he prefers, obedience over sacrifice. So we can give sacrifices of praise. We can give God glory. I'm not trying to take away from that. I'm just trying to show you where people have gotten stuck in their worship life.